Hey everyone, it is another package day. So let's just get to it. Let's open it up. So this is a big one. I don't know why it's in such a big one because I believe it's just a video game. However, if it is what I think it is, it was sent from Japan. So maybe that's why. This is always the fun part, isn't it? So let's move that out of the way. This really is heavy. Oh my God. This is the big one. I'm very excited about this. Here we go. Big day. Spider-Man Web of Fire for Sega 32X. This is not a cheap game. This is, to this point, the most expensive game I have ever purchased. And there are some expensive games on the Sega 32X, but this one takes the cake. Now I liked this one. This is complete in box. It actually has a protective case on it to keep it from getting damaged, etc. So I'll open this up and take a look at the box inside and the cartridge because I want to play this. Now, before I actually get into opening this up, I spent $344.95 for this. This includes $20 shipping. So it was actually $324.95, which is a fantastic price. I mean, I've seen it close to $1,000 for this game, but we'll take a look at the box and see if it was worth it. Okay, just pull that out, very nice. Box comes out beautifully, and it looks really nice. It looks really good. This is a good looking box. The artwork is actually pretty good, not too faded at all. The back looks great. So let's open it up. The Sega 32X Spider-Man Web of Fire cartridge looks really nice. It looks really nice. It looks like this person, whoever I bought this from, took really good care of it. And I'm especially excited because this is complete in box, like I said. So it comes with the inserts. So this one, here's your typical registration card. This actually says Sega Saturn registration card. The instruction manual looks pretty good, looks really in good shape. It does look like maybe it was used once or twice, but I mean, like I said, whoever had this took pretty good care of it. So pretty nice. But the only thing left to do, and you can say it with me, let's go pop it in. So here we go. This is the Amazing Spider-Man Web of Fire. This game came out in 1996. It was exclusive for the Sega 32X. It was made by Blue Sky Software. They were also responsible for games like Vector Man, Ren and Stimpy Show, Jurassic Park, Joe Montana Football 2, Sports Talk Football, one of my favorites, and so on and so on. So I have to say I like the opening title here. It's pretty cool. You kind of get an idea of what's happening here. And it also has some kind of cool little cutscenes that show like the Daily Bugle, kind of what's happening. Of course, Hydra's taking over the entire city. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But I wanted to touch base on the controls first and foremost. The controls, when you first play this game, will not be easy. They're a little wonky. Spider-Man's a little weird sometimes. If he lands on an object, and I'll show you in a little bit, he'll grab on with his spider clingy stuff, like this. Like right here, these little things. I don't want to touch the side, and then of course when you get hit, he does a little flip, goes over, flips over again, and it's just, it's really wonky. It's not the greatest thing. Now in the same breath, I'm going to tell you that it's not all that bad. Once you get used to it, it really isn't that bad. The problem is it takes a while to get used to it. But once you do, the game gets a little easier, and dare I say, even quite enjoyable. Now, there are some interesting facts about this game. You'll see that the animation for Spider-Man and all of the characters in this game, they were actually rendered on Silicon Graphics workstations using motion capture animation. So this is actually people doing this. So I'll let you decide if you think it looks better because of it. I think what I would have liked to have seen is the amazing Spider-Man Web of Fire on Sega CD 32X, just to get like a better soundtrack. I think maybe I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. But it is growing on me. Like I said, it does grow on you, so give it a chance. And especially if you like Spider-Man like I do, you should definitely give it a chance. Now, while I'm struggling here, let me tell you a little bit about the game itself. Now, you're playing as Spider-Man, obviously. There are 6 stages. You'll be going up against Hydra. Many of you know who Hydra is by now. And also their hired hands, the new enforcers, who have taken over New York City and held it hostage by setting up generators throughout the city to cause this electronic grid to trap the citizens inside. You can obviously see the green and blue flashing grid in the sky, and that's what I'm talking about. So your job is to defeat the new enforcers who are guarding all the generators. You will destroy a generator at the end of each level. And in case you're wondering who those bosses are, there is Dragon Man, the Eel, Thermite, Blitz, Tangle, and Super Adaptoid. And there's also appearances throughout the game by Vanisher and Daredevil. So if you're a Daredevil fan, well, it's your lucky day. But Daredevil will occasionally, once you collect enough DD tokens, Daredevil tokens, he'll be able to assist you in times of need. Now, one of the most interesting things about this game is that it was the last game for the Sega 32X ever to be released in North America. And in fact, I believe it was released after Sega announced that they were dropping support for it. So this has made the game quite popular and quite expensive for those 2 reasons alone. And also, it was an exclusive, so this was never put out on any other system. This was only out on the Sega 32X. And it has the dubious distinction of being the very last title to be released. Which is too bad, because I think this one actually got pretty decent reviews. At least the early previews gave it some love. But after it was released, they didn't really review it, because it was, the 32X was done. There was, why dedicate pages to a system or a game that it will no longer be in existence? So it's sad for that to happen, but if you're lucky and you find a good copy like I did, buy it, because they will only get more expensive as the years go along. So let's go over my final grade for this. For the graphics, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. For the sound, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. I could go 7 on that one. Music, I'm going to give it a 7.5. I actually really like the hard rock driven soundtrack on this, and I thought it would annoy me after a while, but it really doesn't. It actually sets the mood kind of nicely. You may think differently, but that's how I feel about it. Controls, like I said, a little wonky, so I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Again, that's something that you'll get over. You will get used to the controls. And for replayability, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. I do think that this is a game that I would probably play after I finished, mainly because I'm into the side-scrolling and action-adventure games. So let me just reiterate this. This is the most expensive game on the Sega 32X. Would you spend $400 for this particular game? And if not, what game would you spend $400 for? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, that's it for my episode today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and please subscribe and follow and comment if you haven't already done so. And as always, you can find another video every Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. I am here in Los Angeles, so I look forward to seeing you every Wednesday. And if you love your social media, you can always find me on Instagram at Layman Video Gamer, or on Twitter at Layman Gamer, and also on Facebook at Layman Video Gamer. So until next time, I'm Scott Galaxy. Keep playing retro, everybody.